Hey, we're going to take a minute and talk about you and your money today. Uh, I wish you a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in this great world. Um, it's a countdown to Christmas. It's a busy time of year for a lot of people, but it's also a time to reflect on how 2017 has turned out. Now, we've kind of talked about these things a couple of times here in the past, but what I wanted to actually visit with you about is I'm sure you're all aware uh, about cryptocurrencies. If you're not, you either don't spend much time on the internet, you're hiding under a rock, you just didn't catch your eye apparently. But it's the biggest thing. It's being compared to the gold rush of the 49s. It's being likened to uh, the what do I want to call it? The dot-com days of rapid growth. Some are predicting it's going to burst. Some are saying it's a bubble. Some are saying it's illegal. In but there are a lot of people that are making a lot of money purchasing, and of course, the one that most everybody is aware of is called Bitcoin. Now, to kind of and I'm no expert, so let me make that clear. I'm not an expert on Bitcoin or the blockchain, but I have done some research, and that's the thing that I'm suggesting that all of you do. Uh, if you're going to look into Bitcoin, but even more importantly, no matter what you do financially, whatever vehicles you use to grow your money, uh, you want to be sure and do your research. Check out the companies and their offers. Uh, if they're not a proven system, then I don't know that I would take too much of a chance with them. But getting back to the Bitcoin, because there is so much conversation about it on the internet, it's becoming uh, common day conversations, not only on the internet but on regular newscasts, because it is becoming such a majorly talked about program or product commodity. A lot of people are, questioning: is it a commodity? Is it an asset? Is it a because different depending on what they are. If it's a commodity, it's traded one way in the financial markets. If it's a asset, then it's treated differently in the financial markets and financial communities and by governments. So all of these things are something that needs to be considered. But like I said, Bitcoin is the one that most people are familiar with, but there are quite a few other coins out there. Uh, and so you have to be pretty careful about what you're doing there as far as checking it out, finding out what is legit. But, and sometimes what's legit is just somebody's opinion. Bankers are going to tell you one thing about it. Politicians are going to tell you something else about it. Stock market is going to look at it in different ways. But one of the things that really uh, stood out to me as I was looking at this was the blockchain. And in reality, as far as I can tell, the blockchain is really the power behind cryptocurrencies. Because a blockchain, and just very briefly, excuse me, a blockchain is simply a digital ledger that's kept on the internet but is in no central location. It's not controlled by any one person or government or institution of any type. several thousands of people can see the blockchain and can verify transactions on the blockchain. It takes roughly 10 minutes for a transaction to be handled. And it's a peer-to-peer operation. In other words, if I wanted to buy something from you, I would send you cryptocurrency over the internet. You would accept it and send me the goods, if it's goods that I purchase from you. And that transaction would go into the blockchain, and it's virtually impossible to hack it, because in order to do so, even the slightest change in the information in a block, if it's changed even slightly, it changes the algorithm in there, and then all of the blocks back that are in that chain have to be changed, and all the blocks going forward have to be changed in order for them, because the block ahead and the block behind, both their dashes are in there, so that that's how it's verified, and these are verified by the miners. So anyway, that's kind of maybe really a kind of a poor description of what it's about, but basically that's what it is. And each person that's on this network can see each of those blocks, and they can see the transactions that happened in these blocks, and until all of those say yes, that is a valid transaction, then it's not a valid transaction. So everybody sees the same thing. It's not, like I said, it's not controlled by one person, it's not controlled by an institution, and it's not controlled by a government, which, our banks are. International monetary transactions are controlled by banks and financial institutions and governments. You can't print more of it, then it's not something that you can counterfeit. So it's safe in that respect. And I think that's where the power is really going to be, and the value is because of untrust. These steps are taken so that you can have trust in what happens with the Bitcoin in the blockchain. So I would encourage you, I seriously would, I would encourage you to look into it, because I do believe it is going to be the currency of the future, or at least the way we're going to do business. Now, I don't know if Bitcoin is going to be the currency of the future, or Ethereum, or Monero, or Litecoin, or Dash, or all of the other types of coins that are out there, and they're out there for different reasons and different purposes. So anyhow, again, I'm just encouraging you to take a look at it. I think 2018 is going to be a huge, huge, huge year for the cryptocurrencies. So again, I really do encourage you to check it out. I do know that here in the near future, there is going to be some training. There's going to be where a person can go and get information, and it'll be information that will make you smarter as far as dealing with cryptocurrencies, or financing, saving money, building your future. And that's something that everybody should look at. So again, I do appreciate your time. Moses, my YouTube channel is Moses Global Wealth. I'd love to have you subscribe. Follow me. I'm going to cover lots of subjects. My biggest purpose, I'm trying to learn so that I can help other people learn and grow and be successful in their futures. So again, thank you, and I do want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and God bless.